I'm standing in my childhood bedroom, holding a letter from a real estate lawyer. My grandmother's beach house, the one she left me in her will, was sold 3 weeks ago. I never signed anything. Here's the thing nobody tells you about family betrayal. It doesn't come with dramatic music or a confrontation in the rain. It comes in a Tuesday afternoon phone call. Sweetheart, we need to talk about Grandma's property. My mom's voice had that cheerful edge she uses when she's already made a decision and is just informing you. Let me back up. I'm Emma, 28. I work in graphic design, which means I'm good at making things look put together even when they're falling apart. That beach house? My grandmother bought it in 1987 for $60,000. Worked double shifts as a nurse to afford it. She used to joke it was her retirement plan and revenge on poverty, rolled into one. When she got sick 2 years ago, she made me promise something. This house is yours, Emma. Not because you're the oldest. Because you'll actually keep it. She didn't say it to hurt my sister. She said it because she knew Melissa would sell it the second she got the keys. Grandma was right. Except Melissa never got the keys. I did. So when my mom called saying they needed to liquidate assets to help Melissa with her dream wedding, I thought she was asking for a loan. She wasn't asking. The house sold for $340,000. We've already allocated the funds. Wait, what? We talked about this at Christmas, Emma. You said you understood. I said no such thing. What I said was, okay, when my mom mentioned Melissa's wedding was getting expensive. That's not consent. That's not even a conversation. Well, it's done now. Melissa's putting down the deposit for the venue this week. You know what's wild? In that moment, I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I just sat there thinking, of course. Of course my mom found a way. Of course the will didn't matter. Of course my sister's wedding, a single day, was worth more than the one thing my grandmother worked her entire life to leave me. My hands were shaking so hard I had to put the phone down. If you're listening right now, help me prove something wrong, my mom said. I wouldn't reach 3,000 subscribers, but I believe stories like this deserve to be heard. Help me show that tales matter. Hit that subscribe button. I need to know I'm not alone in this. I hired a lawyer that same afternoon. Not because I'm vindictive, because my grandmother's will was explicit. That house was mine. The deed was in the process of being transferred to my name when she died. My mom, as executor, had a legal obligation not to sell it without my written consent. The lawyer listened to everything, took notes, then said something I'll never forget. This is fraud. But it's family fraud, which means it's going to get ugly. He asked if I was sure I wanted to go through with it. I said yes. Then I did something I hadn't planned. I didn't tell my family I was taking legal action. Instead, I showed up to my sister's engagement party. With a smile. With a gift. With every intention of watching this play out exactly the way it needed to. You think I'm the villain now, don't you? Let me tell you what happened at that party. The engagement party was at my parents' house. You know the kind. String lights in the backyard, a rented chocolate fountain, a playlist that's 70% Fleetwood Mac. Melissa was wearing white. Of course she was. She's the kind of person who needs everyone to know she's the bride months in advance. My mom hugged me at the door. Tight. The kind of hug that says thank you for not making a scene. I hugged her back. You look happy, sweetheart. I was. Because 3 hours earlier, my lawyer filed a civil suit against her and my father for misappropriation of estate assets. They didn't know yet. Here's what people don't understand about moments like this. You're not thinking in full sentences. You're thinking in flashes. Will they hate me? They already chose her over me. Grandma wanted me to have that house. I'm going to ruin Melissa's wedding. She ruined my inheritance. I stood there, holding a glass of cheap champagne, watching my sister show off her ring to a circle of relatives I barely recognized. And I felt nothing. Not rage, not sadness, just this cold, clear certainty that I was done being the one who bends. My uncle pulled me aside. The one who's always been the fun one. The one who thinks he can smooth over anything with a joke. Hey, your mom told me about the house situation. That's got a sting, huh? I looked at him. It does. But hey, family, right? Melissa's wedding is gonna be beautiful. You'll be glad you helped make it happen. I smiled. I didn't help, Uncle Tom. They sold my house without asking me. That's not generosity. That's theft. He laughed. Nervous. Come on, don't be dramatic. I'm not. I'm being accurate. I walked away before he could respond. Before I continue, I need your help. If this story is hitting you in any way, drop a comment right now. Just one word. Justice. Betrayal. Whatever you're feeling. I need to know these stories matter to someone. Because my family told me nobody would care. Prove them wrong. 2 days later, my parents got served. I wasn't there when it happened, but my mom called me 17 times in 1 hour. I let it go to voicemail. Every single time. I listened to them later that night, alone in my apartment, eating leftover takeout. The first message. Emma, what is this? Call me. The fifth message. This is ridiculous. You're really going to sue your own mother? The 10th message. Do you have any idea what this will do to your sister? The 17th message. You're being selfish. I deleted all of them. Then I called my lawyer. What happens next? Now? We wait. And we document everything. You want to know what betrayal actually feels like? It's not the big moment. It's not the lawsuit or the screaming match. It's the small things. It's realizing your mom changed your emergency contact from herself to your sister without telling you. It's finding out your dad told your cousins you're going through something, and they should give you space. It's your sister blocking you on Instagram. It's the family group chat going silent the second you open it. It's the way your aunt, who you thought liked you, posts a photo of Melissa's bridal shower with the caption, "Family is everything." And you're not in it. Because you weren't invited. I'm not going to lie to you. There were nights I almost dropped the lawsuit. Not because I thought I was wrong. But because being right is exhausting when everyone you love is telling you you're the problem. I'd lie in bed, staring at the ceiling, thinking, what if I just let it go? What if I apologize? What if I show up to the wedding and pretend none of this happened? But then I'd remember my grandmother's face when she made me promise. And I'd remember the feeling of sitting in that bedroom, holding that letter, realizing my own mother had erased me. You don't come back from that by being quiet. 3 weeks into the lawsuit, my lawyer called. Emma, I need you to sit down. I was already sitting. Your mom didn't just sell the house without your consent. She forged your signature on the deed transfer. I felt my stomach drop. What? There's a notarized document with your name on it. You didn't sign it. Which means someone did. And if I had to guess, it was your mother. That's not just betrayal. That's a felony. My lawyer's voice was calm. Professional. This changes everything. We're no longer just talking about a civil case. If you want, we can pursue criminal charges. I didn't answer right away. Because here's the thing. I didn't want to send my mom to jail. I just wanted her to admit what she did. If you've made it this far, you're invested in this. And I need something from you. Share this video with one person who needs to hear it. Someone who's been made to feel small by their own family. Someone who's been told to just let it go. Send it to them. Tell them their anger is valid. And while you're at it, smash that like button so this reaches more people who need to hear they're not crazy for standing up for themselves. I asked my lawyer for 48 hours. Then I did something insane. I texted my sister. We need to talk. In person. Just you and me. She didn't respond for 6 hours. Then, why would I ever want to talk to you? I replied, because mom forged my signature. And if this goes to trial, it's not just me she's going to hurt. She called me 10 minutes later. We met at a coffee shop neither of us had ever been to. Neutral ground. She looked tired, thinner than I remembered. You're really doing this. I am. You're going to ruin her life. She ruined mine first. Melissa's eyes filled with tears. But not the sad kind. The angry kind. You don't get it, Emma. You never do. Everything has always been easier for you. Easier? You got the house. You got grandma's attention. You got to be the favorite. I stared at her. Melissa, she left me a house. That's not favoritism. That's a will. And mom stole it. My sister's face changed. For just a second, she looked small. I didn't know she forged your signature. You didn't ask. I thought. She stopped. Swallowed. I thought you'd agreed. Mom said you were fine with it. Would you have cared if I wasn't? She didn't answer. And that's when I realized, my sister wasn't the villain. She was just selfish. And selfish isn't illegal. But my mom? My mom had lied to both of us. I leaned forward. Melissa, I don't want to take you down. But I'm not letting this go. So you have two choices. You help me get the truth. or you go down with her." She left without saying another word. Quick thing before we get to what happened next: if you're the type of person who believes in standing up for what's right even when it costs you everything, I need you in this community. Subscribe. Turn on notifications, because I'm going to keep telling these stories. The ones about people who refused to stay small. The ones about women who chose themselves. Help me build something here. We're almost at 3,000. Let's get there together. A week later, my mom called. Not from her cell. From my dad's. "Emma, please, let's sit down and talk." "About what?" "About how we can fix this. As a family. You can start by admitting you forged my signature." Silence. "I didn't." "Yes, you did. And I have proof." More silence. Then, quietly, "What do you want?" "I want the house back." "Emma, it's already sold." "Then I want $340,000. In my account. By the end of the week." "We don't have that kind of." "Then you figure it out. Because if you don't, this goes to criminal court. And you go to jail." I hung up. They refinanced their house. Took out a loan against my dad's retirement. Liquidated 2 investment accounts. And they paid me back. Every cent. Melissa's wedding got postponed. Then downsized. Then moved to a backyard ceremony with 50 guests instead of 200. I didn't go. Not because I wanted to hurt her. But because I needed to be done. My mom sent me one final text: "I hope you're happy." I didn't respond. But if I had, I would have said this: "I'm not happy. But I'm free." Here's what I learned. Family will ask you to be smaller so they can be comfortable. They'll call it love. Call it loyalty. Call it keeping the peace. But it's not. It's control. And the second you stop shrinking, they'll call you selfish. Dramatic. Ungrateful. Let them. Because the version of you that fights for what's yours. She's not the villain. She's the woman your grandmother raised you to be. One last thing before you go: if this story changed something in you, if it made you feel less alone, if it gave you permission to stop apologizing for taking up space, leave a comment. Tell me your story. Tell me what you're fighting for. Because we're building something here. A place where standing up for yourself isn't called selfish. It's called survival. Subscribe if you're ready to be part of that. I'll see you in the next one. I'm living in a new city now. Smaller apartment. Bigger life. I haven't spoken to my mom in 8 months. Sometimes I miss her. Most of the time, I don't. And you know what? I bought myself a beach house last month. Not with the inheritance money. With my own. It's smaller than my grandmother's. The porch creaks. The paint is peeling. But it's mine. And nobody can take that from me. Some battles aren't about winning. They're about refusing to lose yourself.